What is going on, everybody? This is Seebass from Rockin with Seebass, and we have a very special guest today. He is an amazing guitar player. He's the one and only Jack Starr, and I think he was having fun jamming to that little intro.
Yeah, I was digging on the intro. I'm not sure who it was, but it sounded good.
A friend of mine made that. I just said, I'll take it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. How you doing, man? What have you been up to?
I'm doing good. Getting ready to put out our 10th album with Burning Starr, and all is well.
Yeah, I was actually listening to some of the tunes from the new album, Soul of the Innocents. It's a darn good album, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We definitely take our time, and we try to give a quality recording and good songs and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely do want to talk about that album, but I kind of want to learn a little bit more about your history as a guitar player. When I read about you, you learned guitar from, R&B music. And how did you get into that? And what made you learn that?
Well, I mean, more than R&B, but definitely that was part of it. I caught the tail end of the '60s, and there was a lot of good stuff that came out. When I graduated high school in the early '70s, we had Black Sabbath coming out, Led Zeppelin, Santana, and B.B. King. And so it was a very guitaristic kind of era. And they were all great influences on me.
I know you, actually from one part of the history, you are a blues player as well. What was your favorite blues people? I would say B.B. King, of course, but anybody else?
No, you hit it on the head. I would say B.B. King, Freddie King, and Albert King. So it kind of makes it easy to remember for me. They all have the same last name.
Yeah, I noticed that. That kind of works. Yeah, my favorite blues player is definitely B.B. King. There was somebody else I liked as well, but I can't think of them right now. No, it'll come to me.
There's a lot of good guys out there. Even in the new generation, people like Joe Bonamassa is real good.
Oh, yeah.
Walter Trout, Papa Chubby. There's a bunch of them that are pretty good, very good.
And I think over the time in 1981, you joined the band Virgin Steel. And I was kind of curious, how did you end up in Virgin Steel?
Well, basically, I started the band. I was looking to put together kind of like something similar to what was going on in Britain, with Iron Maiden and Saxon and Budgie. Over there, they called it the new wave of English heavy metal.
Yep.
And so I wanted to see if I could do something parallel in America.
Oh.
And I came up with Virgin Steel. I came up with the name, which was, a good name in the sense of it had the heaviness and the lightness, kind of like, Iron Maiden, Iron Butterfly, Virgin Steel. It had that dichotomy,
I actually get what you did there. It's kind of cool. And actually, speaking of which, Saxon is another one of my favorite British bands. So, yeah, hit that one.
Love Saxon. And Biff, the singer, is still going strong.
Yes, he is. Very underrated band. And, yeah, he definitely sells the vocals.
Yeah.
And, when you were in Virgin Steel, there was something that you decided to do. You sent one of the songs, great song, by the way, Children of the Storm, to Shrapnel Records. I hope I said that right. For a combination album of U.S. Metal Volume 2. So what made you choose that song out of all the songs?
Well, I had read in Guitar Player magazine. I used to read that all the time, I was like, your typical wannabe guitar player, and I wanted to see, what my idols were up to,
Right.
What is Jeff Beck doing, what is Brian May doing? And then I saw there was like a little advertisement, and it was, guitar players send us your best demos for inclusion in a compilation album.
Mhm.
You must be great. You must know how to shred, and blah blah blah. And if you think you're all that, send your demo. So it was a little intimidating at first, but then I said, what the heck? Somebody's gotta rate and get included in this thing.
Mhm.
And I sent it in, and Mike Varney called me, gave me a personal call about 2 weeks later, and said, "Hey, dude, he's from California, so he throws in a lot of dudes." He's like, "Hey, dude, that sounded awesome, dude." And I said, "Well, thank you." And so he goes, "You're on the album." I go, "Okay," and that was it. That was the start of the whole crazy 40-year long ride that I've been on.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's what definitely started your entire career.
Yeah.
And with the first album, Virgin Steel, I have the tracks right here, and one of my favorite songs happens to be "Dead End Kids." Actually, I like the entire catalog, but what was? How did you come up with "Dead End Kids"?
Uh, well, I think, the funny thing is there was actually a band, part of the new wave of English heavy metal, really obscure band. So obscure that I don't think anyone remembers them, but they were called Dead End Kids. And I was like looking through the British magazine, and I said, "Wow, what a cool name for a song." So got the idea for the song, and then I also liked Queen, the band Queen, and they have this song called "Keep Yourself Alive."
Good song, yes.
And that song starts off with heavy flanging. So if you're a guitar player, you know what I'm talking about. It's this kind of weird sound that sounds like, I don't know, how can I explain it? Like heavy chorusing. So I wanted to incorporate that in a song and use the title "Dead End Kids" and write about, a lot of the kids that I grew up with, that I went to high school with, that weren't as driven as I was, that were okay to hang out in front of 7-Eleven all night, or go to beer parties every night, whereas I was more the kid that would tell his friends, "Sorry, but I'm staying home tonight. I want to practice."
Hmm.
It's like, "But Jack, man, we're gonna go pick up some hot chicks." It was like, "No, that's okay. I just want to stay home and practice tonight."
Pretty sure they were like, "Oh, okay," and then you turn out you're like one of the coolest guitar players around.
Well, thank you.
I actually did. I made a little top 5 of guitar players, and I put you in there because I was like, "This guy's good."
Wow, that's a really big compliment, because I'm sure you hear guitar players up the wazoo at this point in your life, right?
All the time.
So I really want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers.
Yes, thank you. I don't have anything. And of course, throughout the time, I actually want to talk about your first solo album, because this album, I listened to it. It's awesome. And you had one of the guys from Riot, Rhett Forrester. How
Yeah,
did you come in contact with them?
that was totally coincidence. I needed a singer, and I was going to call Green Street Management, the company that manages Riot, and I was
Right.
just going to ask them, "Hey, do you guys happen to know a really good singer? I want somebody that sounds like Rhett, that's got that really gritty voice, and at the
Right.
same time can hit some high notes, can do both.
Oh yeah.
And Rhett, I thought, was taken, and David Coverdale was definitely taken. And then the guy on the phone, their manager, he goes, "Well, how about Rhett Forrester?" And I said, "What?" I said, "Well, isn't he in Riot?" He goes, "No, there was a mutual I guess, parting of the ways or whatever. And why don't you give him a call? And I was like, okay. That's, like, it was kind of like the right place at the right time,
Yeah, it helped them out. Riot's another one of my favorite bands. They're very underrated. I actually
Yes.
talked to Rick Ventura not too long ago, so he was cool.
Yeah, great band. And I think they've been, kind of holding the banner of American metal for a really long time and
Oh
putting
yeah,
out quality albums,
yeah, definitely.
and that in itself says something, that there hasn't been any weak albums.
I would say the best album from their catalog, and this is just my opinion, but I think Born in America is mine. Just because it was the first album I ever heard by them.
I'm going to surprise you, but I bought the album today.
Born in America?
I went to a record store today.
That's funny.
It's called Savvy Vinyl. It's in Melbourne, Florida. It's a woman that owns the store. And I went in there because I had a duplicate copy of Led Zeppelin 4, where there was two vinyls in the same jacket. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go see Snap. That's her name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see if we can work out a trade, take the vinyl and then maybe you have a cover lying around. So anyway, I'm looking for an album and I saw Born in America. I said, can we do a trade on this one? We did it. And I did not have it on vinyl. I had it on CD. And I really wanted it on vinyl.
I sadly don't have it on vinyl. I have it on CD. That's probably my goal now, to get it on vinyl.
Gonna have to go to Florida. And no.
I mean, I wasn't in Florida too long ago for seeing a concert, so who knows? Maybe I'll go back.
Yeah, it's a good record store. But I collect vinyl. And getting back to Rhett, so to make a long story short, I called him up. We hit it off really well on the phone. And I said, can you come out, and can we do some pre-production? And I can show you these songs. And Rhett just said, yeah, play something over the phone. That was a little disarming, but I think he wanted to just make sure I was for real,
Good point.
So I played him Concrete Warrior, and I played him like 30 seconds of it, and he goes, okay, what's your address? And that was, let's get together over the weekend. And it turned out I was married at the time, and my wife was getting ready to go on vacation. And I said, well, why don't you just come out, and hang out a while? He ended up staying the whole summer, pretty much. And we just totally worked on the album, and it was great. And we're so dissimilar also. So it was kind of like I got to know him as a person, and he got to know me as a person. Rhett is larger than life.
Oh, yeah.
He was. Guy's like 6'2", 6'3". He, like in the movie Almost Famous,
Yeah.
Rhett would be the blonde god, the Rob kind of god. And he could drink me under the table, like get up in the morning and have a 6-pack before noon. So anyway, but I got to respect who he was as a person, and he was a little intimidating at first, but once we found, the musical camaraderie, then it was cool, and so it was great.
Yeah. He has probably one of the best rock vocalists, and I think he's kind of underappreciated in that aspect.
Totally. Yes.
And within that solo album, I told you it was one of my favorite albums. And you just mentioned it, False Messiah. What is that actually about?
Well, oh boy. Without getting into a long thing,
That's all good.
In the Old Testament, it says words to the effect of literally, beware of the false Messiah.
It does, yes.
Meaning that there are many who will come and be called messiahs, but they won't necessarily be the Messiah. So this is kind of like an admonition,
Mhm.
to be weary, not just in terms of religious connotations, but to be wary of anyone that says, I have all the answers. I am the way, I am the solution, because that leads to people like Charles Manson. It leads to cults and dictators. So from that point of view, I think it's kind of, I don't know, I forgot the word, but it kind of warning. It's kind of,
Mhm. Well, it's a good warning too. I mean, again, that Rhett's voice really goes with it, and the power behind the guitar was just phenomenal. And I had to listen to it twice just to understand what was going on.
yeah, cool. I hope you listen to it with headphones, or next time try with headphones. There's a tremendous amount of layering. So the more you really listen to it, you'll hear different things with each listen.
I'm gonna have to do that now. I was just listening to my computer, but I can do that. And of course, within that time, you decided that, change the band name to what we all know, Jack Starr's Burning Starr. So, what made you decide to change that name?
Well, I couldn't use Virgin Steel anymore. The singer and I had a disagreement, and I had done my solo album, which was Out of the Darkness. I took Out of the Darkness to a record company called Passport, and I said, I have an idea for a band built around myself. I've had a lot of success in Europe with Virgin Steel and some success in America, and I've got a good cult following. I kind of pitched myself, to the president of the label, and he was like, "Okay, let's do it," and that was it. So then, with that contract in my hand, I could now, um, get people of high quality to work with me.
Well, it does certainly work. And yeah, I mean, again, I actually love the name. It goes really well. Burning Star, and then of course with your last name, Star. That's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's my real name too, so
Oh, I was gonna say,
I
yeah, it's your.
gotta live with it.
And so as I was trying to discover more about you, I was trying to look for some music videos, and I kind of ran into a compilation. There was one. There was not Tear Down the Walls. Of course, there is a music video for that, but it was Fire and Rain. So, what was the idea of that music video?
Well, I just thought it was a really cool ballad, and it would lend itself to kind of like a heavy metal treatment of it,
Mhm.
and that was it. Just it's a beautiful song, and I thought I could do it justice, and I hope I did.
I think you did. I mean, I was sitting there watching the video, and I was like, okay, I love it. I
Cool.
also love Tear Down the Walls. That was a good one. It was a concert video, but it was still cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And what was the inspiration for this? Is another one of my favorite songs by you guys. Was Stand Up and Fight.
Well, stand up and fight is really a very common theme in metal. It's
It is.
basically don't let yourself be abused. Don't let yourself be told you can't do it, you won't amount to anything. And, at the time that I recorded that, I was like in my late 20s, but we were singing to people that were maybe 15 and 16 or 17 and were having a hard time maybe with their parents or in high school, or maybe they were being bullied, or, a whole bunch of stuff, or maybe they were in an abusive relationship. And so the song is about that. It's about stand up and fight, assert yourself, because you deserve to be heard and to be free and to be able to live your life.
Well, it's definitely a motivational song. I mean, it motivated me to get up to go to work because I work at Wendy's and also at iHeart, so it's killer.
Mm. It's it's important, because we all need motivation. We all
Yeah,
do, no matter who we are or what we're doing. It's very important. And you also go to school, right? Are you a full time student?
I'm actually a graduate.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And I don't want to reverse the interview process, but Boston is this is the name of your school is.
Oh, the name of my school was International College of Broadcasting. That's where I went, and they
Oh,
taught me how to do radio and broadcast stuff.
great, cool, very
Yeah.
cool.
And my teacher said you should do a podcast, and I said,
Oh, hey,
okay.
you got the right voice for it,
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely.
it, so I do actually want to go down now to the new album, and I told you, man, this album is killer. Um, I know you said something in not an interview, in a video. What do you say? You said buy it because it's great. I wanted to say no, buy it because it rocks.
Thank you. Yeah, I kind of said that tongue in cheek. I normally would never say anything like that because as soon as you put yourself up in life, people feel it's their duty to throw rocks at you. If you stand up on a pedestal and say, I painted a beautiful painting, or I wrote a great book, or I made a great album, that's the worst thing you can do because they'll start, getting the eggs out. So, but I said that I was really quoting a former bandmate, uh, and it just stuck with me throughout the years. Because here we're doing an interview with Virgin Steel for a college radio station, WCWP, which is a radio station from Post University
Oh,
on
nice.
Long Island. And so we're doing this interview, and we're all trying to sound intelligent, like, well, I think our music bridges the gap between classical and metal, So he comes to the bass player, and what do you think? And the bass player goes, just buy it because it's good. We're like looking at him, okay, like, okay,
Okay, sure. All right, we'll buy it. No problem.
yeah,
And then, of course, you have a new vocalist. I want to be sure I say this right. Alex Panza. Did I say that right?
and yes, and he's great.
Yeah, great
What,
vocal.
what do you think? You tell me. I mean,
Very powerful. I don't know if he gets this a lot. I don't know, but when I was listening to his voice, it kind of gave me a sense that of Ronnie James Dio and Jeff Tate a little bit, and I was like, this guy got some pipes.
yes, and believe it or not, he's also a very big fan of Rhett Forrester.
I can see that.
And anyway, I met him actually without knowing I met him about I think 8 years ago in Germany. We're doing a show there, and we after the show, we're signing autographs. We have a merchandise table, and he came, and a picture was taken of me autographing something for Alex. And after he joined the band, the picture came out, and it was like, wow, this is so cool, And for him, he was very emotional, that things had come full circle. He was just a kid because he's only 29 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was just a kid, like he was 21, 20, I don't even know. And then he really liked my playing actually because of the album with Rhett Forrester. So he that's one of the reasons, he showed up at our show. And then later on, he's become my Red Forester for the year 2022.
Mm-hmm. And he does a darn good job at that.
I think he does, I really, and I mean, Burning Starr really has had a lot of great singers.
Yeah, they have.
Let's see. Let me list a couple of names here. First of all, Red Forester. Then
Yes.
we've got Mike Torelli.
Yep. Love that guy.
Great singer. We have Frank Vestry. He sang on Rock the American Way.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great singer. We had Todd Michael Hall. He's in Riot now.
He is. I believe that. Yes.
Fantastic singer. Also, Shmulik Avigal, who was formerly in a band called Picture from the Netherlands. And he was on our album Under a Savage Sky, which was not a Burning Starr album. We called it Guardians of the Flame. It's getting reissued though, and it's gonna now officially be called Burning Starr 6. So he's a great singer, and when you get a chance, check it out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
And now we come to Alex, and I think he's right up there with all of the mentioned singers,
So wait, and when he was auditioning, how many singers were auditioning for you guys, and what kind of made you go like, that's the one?
Well, actually, there was a lot of singers because we had the power of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And the power of like websites like what's that one? Brave Words, Bloody Knuckles from Canada. Are you familiar with it?
I don't think I am actually.
Okay. It's called BWBK, Brave Words, Bloody Knuckles. It's a big one in Canada. Then we had the big one in America, which is slipping my mind right now, but it's a huge metal website. So we had all these metal websites, and we made no secret, hey, we're looking for a singer, because we figured, well, who's going to read metal websites? A lot of metal musicians,
Sure.
So we got a really healthy response, and but we had a definite thing in mind, and it was Alex.
Yeah. Lo and behold, it was like, hey, I met you like 8 years ago. Look at that.
Go figure, right? I mean, it's crazy.
I also heard something kind of cool. I want to bring it up here. Global Rock, you're going to be issuing, a 3-disc Burning Starr anthology covering the band's entire career.
Yes.
And featuring some rare, never heard tracks. Can you tell me anything about that?
Yeah. First of all, I'm really proud and honored to be on that label because they take the music seriously. Mm-hmm. It's not just like people just throwing stuff out there and whatever it sells, great, make a quick buck kind of thing. No, they take it seriously. They get very in depth, and our manager has a good relationship with them. Our manager Giles Lavery has a very good relationship with him, and he basically was prompting me. I want you to dig up all your old stuff and let me hear it. Let me be the judge, because if you have good stuff in your archives, it deserves to be out there, and we're going to include it with the stuff from that era so that the fans can get something more than just what they've already been given, something fresh and more complete. So they're putting out basically the whole discography of Burning Starr, and they're doing a killer job. I mean, it's getting all remastered digitally, and the artwork is all being redone, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. When I saw that, I said, "Oh man, I'm definitely going to buy that." when it comes.
Cool.
I don't know when it's coming though. Do you know?
Yes, it's in the next 12 months. Everything will be out there. I can't give you specific, but I can tell you about the album "Souls of the Innocent" that they're targeting for the 15th of next month.
15th of next month. I have to remember that. It
So
kind of,
yeah.
well, kind of speaking of the artwork, Burning Starr has a lot of great artwork for their albums. I can't really tell you which is the best because that's kind of hard to pick because it changes every time. But Souls of the Innocent has a really good art cover. So who came up with that?
You've seen it already? Wow,
Yeah,
that's good.
Somebody sent me a picture of it, and I was like, nice.
Very cool. Good. I'm glad that you saw it because the last I heard, I was asked, this was about 2 weeks ago, not to show pictures of the artwork. So if they've shown it, then it's cool. That makes me happy.
I thought it was a really cool cover, so I was kind of curious, like who came up with the artwork.
That one I'm not sure of. All the previous ones, I can tell you, were done by Ken Kelly, who is very well known for Rainbow Rising.
All right, I thought I sounded familiar. I was like, I swear I know that guy. Okay,
And also Kiss Destroyer
okay.
and Manowar.
Ah, yes, good band, good band.
Yeah. So so that's who we used for the last 3 albums. And we just unfortunately Ken Kelly passed away. Actually, not that long ago, probably about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did not know that. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was a great epic fantasy artist, and he was a really nice guy, and he was he just a good supporter of our band as well, and he always wished us the best, and he was in our corner. Good guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always enjoyed the artwork that he did for Manowar and Rainbow Rising, of course. I mean, yeah, he did some great stuff.
Absolutely, yes.
And I know, so aside of Alex, and of course, I know you're working with still with the Manowar drummer, right?
Yes, Rhino.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So aside of those two, who else is part of this album?
It's the same people, same lineup that we've had for the last 4 albums. Same band. Excuse me. We've had Ned Maloney on bass.
Mm-hmm.
We have, of course, Rhino on drums.
Oh yeah.
And we have a different singer now, Alex.
Alex Fancy.
So that's the only change from all the previous albums, and myself on guitar, and that's it. The lineup is very stable.
Honestly, I think Rhino is a great drummer, very underrated in my opinion, and I need to see Manowar. I have not seen them live at all.
Yeah, they're a great band. There's no doubt about it, and Rhino is a really good drummer, one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And our bass player Ned, really phenomenal bass player. Underrated. People should really be talking about him when they talk about great bass players because he can play. He's shockingly good. How's
Shocking.
that? How's that for an adjective?
Yeah, bit of a shock.
Yes.
So, me listening to this album, of course, the title song "Soul of the Innocents." What exactly was the inspiration for this song?
That song, Ned came up with the concept and the idea. I came up with the riffs, a lot of the music in it, most of the music. Well, actually, that came up with some of the music too. In that song, the song really is about a specific event, the Las Vegas shooting at the hotel three,
Mm.
4 years ago. I don't know if you recall. There was a country music concert, and there was a sniper that was killing people from his room in the hotel. Does that ring a bell at all?
It actually, I do. I think I do remember that.
Yeah, and so it just made an impression, obviously on Ned about, 'cause I asked Ned, I said, why did you come up with this? Because that song is really Ned's baby.
Mm.
And I said, Ned, why'd you come up with that? And I think what Ned told me, I want to kind of paraphrase it. It's just the whole futility of violence and murder, and how these poor people went to see a music concert, something pretty benign, pretty. You don't expect to be shot,
Hmm.
mowed down by a crazy person, and the kind of fragility of life, and they were innocent.
Right. Yeah.
They were. What did they do to deserve it? They wanted to go see country band, a country performer, and so it's like there, therefore I go, or there, but I don't know what's that saying. Therefore I go, or I don't know, but
I can't remember.
there's just some saying, I don't know,
Right.
but it just basically means we all are tiptoeing into what we don't know, what isn't evident. We go blindly into, and sometimes we go blindly into the abyss, and we don't want to, but it's life.
Right. Oh, with all the craziness going on today, what there's a lot of shootings still happening, and it's just crazy, man.
It is. It is. So hopefully, people will understand that the solution. There's a couple of solutions, but one solution definitely is education.
Hmm.
You have to. You can't just park your kids in front of a TV and video games so that you don't speak to them, because those video games and those television shows and movies are extremely violent, and they're very desensitizing. So I think we have to be careful of what stuff enters our minds,
Hmm.
because garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah. I mean, garbage is everywhere, and you just don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, I definitely agree that education's an important thing.
Yeah.
And kind of moving aside of that, I kind of want to tell you my favorite song so far is "I Am the Center." I had to think about that for a moment. That song is awesome.
Well, that song is. I mean, that song. If you didn't know our band, you would think we're a Christian band,
Half of
because
me, half of me was questioning that actually.
yeah, because it really is what Jesus preached, which is we're all sinners,
Hmm.
and we can't ever think that we are not sinners, that we are better than someone else, or more enlightened, or whatever. We're all sinners, and that's what that song is about, and that we need to not be sinners, and believe in God, and so on and so forth.
And the way the way I see it, is we try to learn from our mistakes and try to
Yeah,
repent every day.
exactly. We have to repent. That's the first part of, I think, of making ourselves, better persons.
Yeah, yeah, that's something that I'm pretty sure everybody else does too. They constantly have to work every day to become a better person.
Exactly. And, you know, and really, I mean, what is a Christian rock band anyway? You know, you could label any band that has made a decision not to put out vile lyrics and evil stuff and say, well, okay, well then they're Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but we made that decision a long time ago that we were not going to glorify suicide or drinking or drugging or sexual promiscuity or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to instead um, emphasize um, the beauty of living here on earth and of doing good and helping one another
Mm-hmm.
and rejoicing in the day that God has made,
Mm-hmm.
not in rejoicing in the evil crap that's out there, to put it bluntly.
Yeah. Actually, that's something I notice about the band is you guys are pretty, I would say, pretty clean compared to a lot of the bands from that time. Not to put anything on that, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of people that are really tired of it. I mean, of the negativity. I mean, some of these videos that are out today are
Yeah.
simply horrendous. I'm talking about some of the hip hop videos, some of the rap videos, and some of the hardcore metal videos.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, how far can I go? And there's a there's an effort to try to shock people with it, but I don't think it's a good place to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think talent is more important, and anyway, for me, it's just where I don't want to be part of that.
I would say the best shocking rocking of that would be Alice Cooper. He put on that one.
Yeah. Well, he definitely, pushed the pendulum, towards that, and 50 years ago, and now it's just like it's gone way, way past it.
So there is another song on here, and for some reason, I don't know why, but it reminds me of me being on a pirate ship, and I don't know. It's called. Uh, I need to find it. Where is it? Ships of the Night. That area. I can think of it. Ships in the
Oh,
Night. Great song. Every time I think of it, I'm like, I feel like I just want to go on a pirate ship and just, you know, be on the water.
well, it's funny because that song is really a total. I would say that song is like Ned really wrote that completely. The bass player of the band, Ned Maloney, and he was going for that. What you just said, that kind of seafaring pirate, buccaneer kind of feel, and he really nailed it.
Yeah.
He nailed it in that song, and he's just really turned into a great songwriter. He really has, and it's really wonderful. And we have this great rapport, Ned and I, because we've been working now for a very, very long time. In fact, I mean, I'll always remember, like, 15 years ago, he called me up and he goes, "Hey Jack, I wrote a Jack Starr riff." So I said, "What?" And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay, let me hear it. So he puts the phone down, picks up his guitar. And I go, wow. I said, you nailed it. You nailed me. That is like a riff that I would have come up with if I had, like. So he has a really good understanding of where I'm coming from musically.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, of course he does a lot of other things,
Right.
He has his own, thing, his own spin that he puts on it. But it's nice when someone gets you. It's like being in a relationship, not even a musical relationship, just any relationship, and the person that you're with gets you.
Right.
They understand where you're coming from. They understand your quirky sense of humor, maybe. They understand your favorite foods or what movies you might like, etc.
Yeah, he's definitely a great bass player. And I mean, if he had that aspect of what the song is, Ships in the Night, having
Yeah.
that pirate feeling, well, he got me on that. So
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah, he did. He really did. Yeah.
So so can you tell me what's your favorite song or the most fun song you had fun playing on this album?
Wow. The album is really new to me. And honestly, I've been listening to it now for about 4 months. And this is going to sound crazy, but I actually like every song on the album equally.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't really have any favorites because I'm constantly like discovering, things about it. So I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see you guys actually tour with this because I think every single track that is, you said it, is killer.
You're from Boston.
I'm from Ohio.
Okay, but your school you're in Boston now, or?
No.
Oh,
So my
you're
school is actually located in Dayton, Ohio.
you're in Dayton. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, because well, Boston is a good place for us, but so is Ohio, Cleveland, and Dayton, and all
Oh yeah.
that. So those will probably be places that the whole Midwest area really has always supported heavy metal and hard rock.
They have. They have. I was actually going to mention, if you guys were going to come to Ohio, kind of answer that. Are, have you guys think of going to this? I call this the Whiskey of Go Go of Cincinnati, the Bogarts.
Yes, that is definitely high on the list.
All right. Well, I'm definitely have to look into that because again, I really want to see you guys. I've never seen you guys live before.
Now we will definitely be there, and we enjoy playing. Some people are blasé. They put out albums and they never. We want to meet the fans, and we want to play.
Oh yeah, my dog's barking. Uh, so I actually real quick for this album because I was actually trying to see if you guys put out any music videos for it. Are you guys going to do that, or is this just going to be the album?
There are 3 music videos that are coming out.
Okay, cool.
Complete music videos for "I Am the Sinner," "Demons Behind Me," and the other one. Can't think of it now. But there's 3, and there's about 20 other videos of where we explain the songs. We talk about. So it should be pretty cool. Actually, I'm sorry. The third one is "Souls of the Innocent."
Oh, it is Souls of the Innocent. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the third one. I don't want to sound like I've totally lost my mind and I can't remember. No, that's the third one. Yeah.
That's okay. I lost my mind today at work, so I get it.
Okay.
I gotta go control my dog if it's okay, real fast.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, Linda. Can you put the AC on and give me something to drink?
Really gotta love your pets.
Yes, we're gonna have to. I think he probably just wants to be near you. You know.
They all do. I also have a few cats. You want some?
No, that's okay. So yeah, so we got the videos coming and everything else, and yeah, it's been great, talking to you. And did you have any last questions or anything?
No, not really. That was actually every single one I had, man. You actually nailed it.
All right, well, fantastic then. And I wanted to ask you this: is there any way that this is going to be archived, or we'll be able to look at it later on? Or anything like
So
that?
it will be on my Facebook channel, but later I will put it on YouTube. And
Okay.
if you want, I can send it to you. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, could you do that? That would be fantastic because I think we had a good interview today.
Yeah, definitely, man. I do not have a problem with that. Yeah.
All right, sounds great. So it's just jackstar@gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually perfect. Okay.
It's easy enough, and also if there are any fans out there that want to write to me, whatever, feel free.
You hear that, guys? Write them.
Yeah, sounds good. And I really enjoyed speaking with you, and I just want to give a shout out to the people of Dayton. You guys rock, and looking forward to seeing you guys on tour.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Jack Starr. Can't wait to see him. You take care, sir, and keep on rocking.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye bye. You too. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jack Starr from Jack Starr's Burning Starr. So yeah, definitely tune in and watch the interview, and also, yeah, come see him because he's really cool. He's a great guitar player. Further announcements: if you guys want to see a Dayton Dragons game, they're still playing. They're still first place, and I'm still continuing to produce them. So yeah, definitely go and see that. Anyway, this is Seebass from Rock with Seebass. Like and subscribe, and take care. Keep on rocking.